Once upon a time, in a quaint little village embraced by the rolling countryside, resided a woman named Emily. Her presence was always enhanced by the breathtaking cascade of her lustrous chestnut tresses that flowed like a river down her slender back. Emily was known far and wide for her meticulous attention to appearance, investing countless hours perfecting her crowning glory with unrivaled dedication. On an eventful morning, fate conspired against Emily, causing her to oversleep and be left without an appointment at her usual hair salon. Determined not to let her tresses suffer the consequences of her tardiness, she resolved to venture into the unknown and seek refuge in the first barbershop that crossed her path. The modest establishment stood as a relic of a bygone era, its walls emanating an air of mystery and intrigue. The moment Emily laid eyes on it, she felt an ominous chill creep up her spine. With apprehension tingling in her veins, Emily valiantly ventured into the dimly lit chamber of the barber shop. The rusty hinges of the door cried out in protest, reverberating through the stillness of the room, eliciting a shiver to course through her delicate frame. As she stepped further inside, a symphony of aged leather and ancient wood mingled in the air, creating a distinctive aroma that awakened her senses. The barber, a formidable figure with a visage weathered by time and a gaze that could pierce the very soul, looked up from his newspaper with a hint of amusement dancing upon his lips. His eyes locked onto Emily, taking in her trepidation with a mixture of intrigue and delight. With a sweeping gesture, he invited her to occupy the time-worn barber's throne, his gaze never wavering from her presence. Resigned to her circumstances, Emily gracefully eased herself into the tattered embrace of the chair, her voice trembling as she conveyed her hair's desires to the barber. Acknowledging her wishes with a subtle nod, the barber, a master of his craft, prepared to weave his magic upon her precious locks. The walls of the room seemed to inch closer, casting a suffocating shadow over Emily's fragile frame. The ethereal silence was occasionally disrupted by the melodic symphony of the scissors, slicing through her cherished tresses with surgical precision. Doubts and uncertainties swirled like a tempest within Emily's racing mind. What would her reflection reveal without the security of her flowing locks? Would this impulsive decision haunt her in the days to come? A potent blend of fear and anticipation coursed through her veins, threatening to overwhelm her senses. In the dimly lit chamber, the barber remained a picture of unwavering focus and resolute determination. Each snip of the scissors held a delicate balance of purpose and artistry, as if sculpting not just hair, but the essence of Emily's identity itself. As the cascade of severed strands danced their graceful descent to the floor, Emily's gaze was drawn to the metamorphosis unfolding before her eyes. It wasn't merely a physical transformation taking place. It was a profound journey of self-discovery, a shedding of old layers to reveal an inner resilience she hadn't known existed. With the final remnants of her beloved mane relinquished to the hands of the barber, he took a step back, a smile of satisfaction playing upon his lips. In that moment, a masterful symphony of beauty and newfound confidence reverberated throughout the once eerie barber shop, leaving no doubt that Emily's trust had been well placed. Nervous anticipation gripped Emily as the barber's weathered hand reached for the gleaming pair of scissors poised to sever her cherished locks. A surge of adrenaline coursed through her veins, her heart pounding like a wild stallion against the confines of her chest. The long, flowing tapestry of her hair had been a sanctuary of comfort and familiarity, and now it teetered on the precipice of transformation, molded by the hands of an enigmatic barber. Emily's breath became a conscious effort, a desperate attempt to steady her racing pulse as the first resounding snip of the scissors sliced through the silence. Her eyes remained locked on her reflection in the ornate mirror, widening with every decisive cut that signaled the irrevocable change unfolding before her gaze. With each strand that gracefully descended to the floor, a knot of unease coiled tighter in her stomach, whispering doubts of misplaced trust and regret for surrendering her treasured locks to the hands of an unfamiliar artisan. The room seemed to constrict, its very walls closing in on Emily, suffocating her in a cocoon of apprehension. Amidst the oppressive silence, the only respite was the rhythmic symphony of the scissors gliding through her once luxuriant tresses. Doubts and uncertainties waged a relentless battle within Emily's racing mind, a tempest of questions swirling like a furious storm. What would she resemble bereft of her long, flowing locks? Would remorse be the price she paid for her impulsive decision? Fear and anticipation waged a relentless dance, threatening to overwhelm her fragile senses. Undeterred by Emily's internal turmoil, the barber pressed on, his visage a canvas painted with unwavering focus and unwavering determination, a testament to his mastery of the craft. With every strand of hair that gracefully surrendered to gravity's gentle pull, Emily bore witness to an alchemical transformation, one that transcended the physical realm and seeped into the very essence of her being. As the final wisps of her once vibrant mane descended to the floor, the barber withdrew, taking a step back to survey his handiwork. A glimmer of satisfaction danced in his eyes, a silent proclamation that his artistry had found its mark. The weight of anticipation lingered in the air as the barber set aside the scissors, his purposeful movements giving way to the clatter of the hair clippers, their buzzing resonance filling the chamber with a heightened sense of trepidation. Emily's apprehension deepened, the buzzing sound amplifying the magnitude of her emotions. Her wide eyes remained fixed upon the barber, trembling like fragile leaves in a tempest, as the clippers approached the vulnerable expanse of her sides. With each meticulous pass of the clippers, the familiar cadence of shearing hair gave way to the electric hum of metal against her scalp. A sinking sensation accompanied the revelation, and a swell of tears threatened to escape her glassy gaze. The physical act of her hair being shorn to the barest stubble on the sides and back overwhelmed her senses, unleashing an uncontrollable cascade of emotions that breached the confines of her fragile composure. As the barber deftly continued his artistry, his skilled hands paused in their rhythmic motion, sensing the weight of Emily's tears cascading down her flushed cheeks. A fleeting moment of empathy flickered in his eyes, a tender acknowledgement of the emotional journey unfolding in his humble domain. The clippers, having fulfilled their purpose, were exchanged for a modest number 4 guard. The audible buzz reverberated through the air, harmonizing with the palpable thumping of Emily's heart. Her gaze, fixated upon the mirrored reflection, bore witness to the barber's deliberate strokes, shaping her previously shorn sides and back into an unexpected canvas of a captivating flat top. With each deliberate pass of the clippers, Emily's tresses surrendered their length, leaving behind an unmistakable silhouette atop her crown. The emerging flat top was an enigma, a revelation of a hairstyle she had never dared to envision for herself. Her reflection, caught in the mirror's grasp, revealed a striking transformation, a fusion of vulnerability and newfound intrigue. As the barber's calloused fingers relinquished the clippers and reached for the gleaming scissors, Emily's veins pulsed with a surge of nervous energy. Her heart galloped within her chest, a wild stallion racing against the confines of her ribcage. The familiarity of her cascading locks, a symbol of solace and security, now teetered on the precipice of alteration, entrusted to the hands of an enigmatic guardian of aesthetics. In an earnest attempt to steady her quivering breath, Emily fixated on the first resounding snip of the scissors, reverberating through the intimate chamber. Her gaze, unwavering, bore witness to the transformation unfolding within the mirrored realm. Wide-eyed and captivated, she observed with each subsequent cut her once cherished hair descending gracefully to the floor. As the pile of severed strands grew, so too did her sense of unease, casting shadows of doubt upon her decision to grant her precious mane to the hands of this enigmatic artisan. The barber, consumed by a potent blend of concentration and determination, continued his meticulous work, his every movement a testament to his unwavering commitment to his craft. Lines of focus etched upon his weathered face, revealing the depths of his expertise. Gradually, as if caught in the delicate dance of falling leaves, Emily bore witness to a profound metamorphosis unfolding before her very eyes. It was not merely a transformation of her outward appearance, but an inward evolution, an unearthing of hidden facets of her identity. As the last remnants of her cherished locks surrendered to the relentless blades of the scissors, the barber, a master of his trade, took a step back, his gaze akin to an artist admiring the masterpiece born from his hands. A sense of accomplishment radiated from his being, a silent acknowledgement of the artistry woven into the tapestry of Emily's newly unveiled image. The symphony of scissors yielded to the impending arrival of the hair clippers, their foreboding presence amplifying the tendrils of apprehension coiled within Emily's fragile heart. The sudden surge of the clippers roaring to life filled the air, a crescendo that intensified the weight of her emotions. Eyes wide with trepidation, she watched as the barber, with measured precision, positioned the vibrating blades at the side of her head, poised to leave an indelible mark upon her. With each deliberate pass of the clippers, the once familiar symphony of hair being cut gave way to the pulsating hum of the metal caressing her vulnerable scalp. A sinking sensation weighed upon Emily's heart, threatening to drown her in a sea of sorrow. Tears welled up in her eyes, silently tracing the contours of her anguish. The sensation of her hair being stripped away, shorn to a mere whisper of its former glory on the sides and back, overwhelmed her senses, unleashing a torrent of emotions she could no longer contain. With a calculated move, the barber exchanged the clippers for a precise number 4 guard, their menacing presence fueling Emily's mounting apprehension. The resonant symphony of the clippers reverberated through the air, harmonizing with the erratic cadence of her restless heart. Hypnotized, she fixated upon the barber's deft hands, meticulously maneuvering the buzzing blades through her once shorn sides and back, orchestrating a metamorphosis that would redefine her very identity. Each deliberate pass of the clippers invoked a tangible transformation, shortening Emily's hair and imprinting a distinct shape upon the crown of her head. The emergence of the flat top, like an ethereal revelation, shattered the boundaries of her imagination. As her eyes traced the lines of the newly formed style, her reflection in the mirror beckoned her to embrace this unanticipated version of herself, a testament to the boundless possibilities of reinvention. As the barber continued to sculpt Emily's hair, guiding it into the pristine contours of a military-style flat top, her emotions surged forth once more, an overwhelming tide threatening to engulf her. Tear-stained trails etched across her cheeks, intermingling with the buzzing symphony of the clippers. The sight of her once familiar locks being shaped into such a distinct and unfamiliar style ignited a complex whirlwind of sadness, confusion, and a palpable vulnerability. With each pass of the clippers, her tears seemed to flow with greater intensity, as if mourning the loss of her former self, forever intertwined with the strands of hair falling to the floor. Emily grappled with the profound impact of the drastic change in her appearance, the realization of this metamorphosis permeating her being. Meanwhile, the barber, absorbed in his craft, remained oblivious to the depth of her emotional tempest, relentlessly pursuing precision and symmetry. As the military-style flat top reached its pinnacle, Emily's gaze hesitantly met her own reflection in the mirror. A face streaked with trails of sorrow confronted her, her tear-stained countenance juxtaposed against the newly sculpted hair. She felt a disconcerting sense of unfamiliarity, as if confronting a stranger donning her own visage. The weight of the transformation settled upon her, fostering a tumultuous clash of conflicting emotions, an amalgamation of loss, curiosity, and an uncharted journey of self-discovery. Amidst the echoes of uncertainty, the barber delicately combed Emily's hair away from her face and neck, unveiling the next unexpected chapter in her transformative hair-cutting odyssey. With calculated precision, he applied a gentle layer of shaving soap to the exposed expanse of her nape and the vulnerable sides of her hair, signifying an unexpected detour in her evolving coiffure. In a whirlwind of uncertainty, Emily's racing heart mirrored the flurry of thoughts swirling within her. her questioning gaze fixated upon the barber's mysterious actions, perplexed by the application of shaving soap to those enigmatic areas. What lay behind his intentions? Would he wield the razor to strip away even more of her precious locks? The anxiety threatened to bubble over, but she silenced her doubts, choosing to surrender to the unfolding metamorphosis and embrace the enigmatic path before her. With each deliberate motion, the barber exuded an aura of unwavering precision, his movements steeped in purpose. Emily's mind buzzed with anticipation, an electric current of thoughts crackling within her. What would emerge from this artistic symphony? Another profound departure. She braced herself, perched on the precipice of the unknown, her spirit resilient and receptive. In a climactic moment, the barber's skilled hands grasped a gleaming straight razor, its polished blade reflecting an ethereal glow. Emily's breath hitched, an unspoken acknowledgement of the pivotal instant as the barber positioned himself to embark on the transcendent shaving ritual. The room held its breath, a tapestry woven with strands of anticipation and trepidation, threads that wove the narrative of transformation. With gentle precision, the barber initiated the voyage, gliding the razor across the nape of Emily's neck, meticulously erasing any lingering vestiges of hair in that intimate terrain. The touch was feather-light, each stroke a testament to the artistry of his craft. Emily's senses awakened to the cool caress of the razor, tracing a path along her delicate skin. The initial grip of fear began to dissipate, slowly eclipsed by a serene tranquility that settled upon her, embracing her like a whispered promise of self-discovery.